We're talking today about FloraPulse, who is introducing a real-time ag monitoring system designed by Cornell scientists that essentially reduces water stress, labor costs, and risk. It helps with irrigation here. So, Michael, in general, why is real-time monitoring, to this level of accuracy that you guys are doing for crop management, important? For ultimately a regenerative future.
Like the point of agriculture is to have the highest outputs with the minimum inputs, right? So you're trying to maximize yield, crop quality, crop health, and then minimize the amount of water and fertilizer used. So to really be able to do this accurately, you want to ask the tree. You want to know what the tree is feeling so you can put water on it when it needs it, right? If you don't know what the tree is feeling, then you can't irrigate it properly, and so that you end up over irrigating or under irrigating. And to that point, we're seeing that some of our customers save up to 50, 60% of water by using this kind of technology, right? Which in the aggregate can make a huge difference. We also see our customers kind of increasing yield. So the proof is in the pudding, right? The using this higher accuracy technology leads to improvements in yield, quality, and water savings. And so this all translates then into a more regenerative agriculture where you have, by using this kind of technology, you can have produce more better quality product with fewer inputs, right? So this is basically the goal of regenerative agriculture. You also end up saving water and leaching fewer fertilizers, using less fertilizer overall because you're not kind of wasting it. And so yes, and that's the point. You might also end up with healthier soils as well. So a little bit of everything, right? It's like if you're trying to drive a car and if you're trying to do it blindfolded, it's very difficult. So we kind of give the growers the vision to see what the trees are feeling.
Definitely. I feel like this, something like FloraPulse shares some similar goals with something like pressure bomb. Michael, how does it compare to, using a pressure bomb? I know it's kind of like automated, whereas the pressure bomb is very laborious. I mean, how do those two compare in like the results that they give from the tree, if you could?
Yeah, absolutely. So the pressure chamber or pressure bomb is used to measure the water status of the tree. It works really well. The problem is that it's very manual, right? So you have to go out there with this heavy instrument and take measurements manually during the hottest part of the day, and then you get one data point for that whole week potentially. People still use it, right? Even though it's such a pain to use, people still use it. So with FloraPulse, you get all the benefits with none of the drawbacks. So you get the same data as the pressure chamber, but you get it continuously. So you get a whole bunch of points every single day without having to go out there. So it just kind of shows up on your phone or computer. And as has been demonstrated by countless studies, using the pressure chamber, or in our case, FloraPulse, growers are able to save water, increase yields, increase quality, and deal with a lot of improving the health of the trees, which is a big one. Growers often end up over irrigating because the trees look fine. They might look a little droopy, and so they think, well, maybe if I put more water. And what often happens is they look droopy because they had too much water. So then they end up, let's say, drowning the roots and causing more problems that way. So with FloraPulse or the pressure chamber, you can do this. But if you're lazy like me, then you want to have the automated solution.
Definitely a good explanation there. So tell me about the actual sensor here itself, Michael. How does it work? Does it go directly into the tree or the vine? What sort of data does it provide? That type of thing.
Yeah, so the sensor was developed at Cornell University by myself and my founders and a few other people. The sensor basically mimics how a tree transports water. So it's like you can imagine it's like a little tree that we put inside the tree itself, and then it exchanges water with the tree and measures basically the pressure of the water inside the tree. So you have this little nub, that gets drilled into the tree, measures the water status or the water pressure inside the tree. And just like humans, right, there's an ideal level of pressure for blood pressure, right, where if your blood pressure is too high or too low, you run into problems. Likewise, if the water pressure is too high, then you end up with more diseases and problems and like drowning the roots. If the water pressure is too low, then your tree droops, can't produce as many carbohydrates, photosynthesis stops, etc. So yeah, so then the sensor is installed in the tree. It stays there for a whole growing season and gives you the data continuously. It's all kind of it all gets uploaded to the internet over cell phone connection, where you can see it on your phone.
Okay, that's fantastic. And I understand it has some other benefits to reduce labor costs and risk. Obviously, with the reduced labor you were talking about, comparing it to the pressure bomb, definitely some reduced labor there. But can you go more into that? What does it mean by reduce risk, essentially?
Mm-hmm. Well, so the reduced labor, as you mentioned, is about eliminating the need for the pressure chamber, and so then you don't have to have a person go out there and do that, and you also get the data every day. And then you might find out that you don't need to irrigate as often, so then that means that you don't have to go out and turn on the tap a whole bunch of times. So it also helps you with things like if your trees are better irrigated, for example, an almond, then you can better reach hole split, and your almonds might fall out of the tree more easily. So you end up also saving in other ways as well, also by not having to apply as much pesticides, etc. And if your trees are healthier, then you also don't have to deal with other diseases. When it comes to risk, it's a similar story where you're trying to irrigate to keep the tree happy at the right level, but if you don't have the information, then you're likely to screw things up. And this can end up being like you put too much water or too little water or both at the same time, right? Like you might be putting too much water sometimes and too little others, which can then lead to on unforeseen diseases and losses in yield and drop of fruit, that sort of thing. So with us, you can be certain that you are irrigating just the right amount at the right time.